Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, we have a fun episode today. We're going to be reviewing Spider-Man number 3. And check out the characters on the cover there. Pretty cool looking. The art in this is super awesome. Before we get dived into that, I do want to let you guys know quickly about the 600 subscriber giveaway. We'll be giving this book away, Marvel number 1 variant, when we hit 600 subscribers. And all you have to do is like, comment, and be subscribed to the channel, and that'll give you a chance to win. When we hit 600, we'll raffle the book off. Now, as always, we're going to be going heavy into spoilers for Spider-Man number 3, so that's your warning. And next up, I always shout out the creative team, because without the creative team, we wouldn't have a comic book, right, guys? So on Spider-Man 3, we have Dan Slott as the writer. The pencils are by Mark Bagley, the inks by John Dell, colors by Edgar Delgado, and letters by VC's Joe Caramagna. And it does have a foreword, and that reads, Peter and his spider allies are fighting for their lives against the ancient wasp totem Shathra. In her quest to dominate the web of life and destiny, Shathra is subsuming spiders from across the Spider-Verse into her great nest. One sting from Shathra's wasps makes a person part of her hive. A corrupted Spider-Man Noir stabbed Spider-Woman with a dagger that severed her tie to the great web, causing her to unravel as if she'd never existed at all. Overwhelmed by Shathra's forces, Peter, Miles Morales, Silk, Aranya, an unlikely ally Morlun, retreated to Earth 616 Beta, a preliminary version of their reality. There, Madame Web and a group of new spider heroes had established a safe zone free from Shathra's prying eyes until they discovered Miles had been stung. As we get into Miles being stung, and we find out that actually, because Miles is in two realities, the one of the Spider Girls explains. She says Miles Morales is different. He belongs equally to two Earths. Miles gave a hamburger to an all-powerful being once, who thanked him by rewriting his reality that way. And there's a little thing saying that happened back in Secret Wars 8. And then so Miles, he's like, I get it, I can't stay here. And he says, we don't have time, I'm the kid from two dimensions, and for now that's giving me an edge. I'm fighting her, but the second I slip, we're screwed. Someone call up a portal. And so he actually decides that he's gonna go ahead and kind of pretend that he's a part of the hive, and so he's just gonna go to Loom World where she is and see if he can attack her from within. Um, Now the one spider character that's kind of like Craven the Hunter mixed with Spider-Man decides, he says, stalking Shathra and her brood in her own lair, that would be the hunt of a lifetime. Count me in. And so they head off into the portal together, and those Spider Girls that can see the future is a little concerned because two Spider people are down on one mission. Then four of the other Spider people or three, I should say, decide that they're gonna go and try to save Jessica Drew, Spider Woman, by getting a MacGuffin, basically, by getting this medallion that with it you can rewrite webs on the web of reality. And so they head off to some ancient Aztec place, right? And of course, leaving the two Spider Women behind, and the one that can see the future is kind of upset that this isn't the plan, right? She hadn't even got to lay the plan out yet. So then Peter, it's this new night spider, I believe is what they're calling her, but it's basically like a Felicia Hardy uh, with spider powers, right, from a different reality. And then I'll show you here a little bit of it. They give you a good panel with, like, the art's amazing, but it is a little intricate on a lot of it. So kind of check them out as the team of three that has headed off to get this MacGuffin. That's what I'm calling it. Um, to try to save Jessica Drew's life. They arrive at that. Like I said, it's like an Egyptian pyramid out in the jungle. Um, it's the best way to describe it. And then so we see Morloon arriving to where they were previously fighting in issue 2 in Manhattan, Earth 616. And he, as you guys remember, he's trying to get that dagger because he's like, if I can get the dagger, I'm gonna try to stab Shathra and remove her from the web of time, right, and be the hero. And so he starts trying to attack and kill Spider-Man Noir. And then these other heroes here, pretty much all new heroes except for Silk, uh, they kind of followed him through the portal, basically to make sure that he didn't kill Spider-Man Noir, is the best way to put that. Because they're sort of concerned that he would do anything to win, right? And so then back on Loom World, uh, because at the end of this here, we do see that Spinstress, one of the Spider Women, has been stung by a wasp. Yikes. And then so we see on Loom World that Shathra is basically instantly able to see everything and know everything and has control of Spinstress right away. Unlike Miles, who is kind of has been able up to this point, been able to fight off the uh, the mind control, right? Um, so then we go back to the three uh, heroes: Peter Parker. I'm not sure. I'll show you the picture, but it's Peter Parker, Night Spider, and then one of the other Spider girls that's actually been around for a little bit. I forget her name off the top of my head right now. I'm sorry. Those three, they're headed to get the MacGuffin. They do get the MacGuffin, kind of in a funny scene here, where Night Spider Felicia comes up and says, "I say we Harrison Ford it," because it's like in the hand, and they're thinking as soon as they take this thing out of this idol's hand, the booby traps are gonna set off and everything, because the whole way there has been filled with booby traps. And so she kind of picks it up and slightly Harrison Ford style, but what a spider would do, and at the same time webs the hand. At the same time, though, portals start appearing everywhere, and they think, oh no, we've set off the alarms. However, they haven't set off the alarms. Shathra, as we know, has found out everything about what's going on through Spinstress, and so has sent her entire army to get Peter Parker, who's the chosen one, right? And as a they were saying in issue 2, they're saying he's the chosen one to save the Spider Verse, or the yeah, I guess that's the best way to describe it. And then so we see at the Spider Sanctuary the Spider Girl, and I love this art too, so I wanted to show off this page. Just the layout's really awesome. I love the webbing effects and everything, and she's the one that can see the future, that Spider Girl. And so she's she's basically saying, it's not good. I don't see I don't see a way out now. Uh, I only see that we're losing. We've been compromised, and yeah, and but how we are also getting that there's another secret that these two know that they haven't revealed to anybody, and the spider girl that can see time doesn't want the other one to say it out loud because she's afraid Shathra's watching, and she doesn't want Shathra to know whatever this secret is. Well, which, like I said, they don't reveal. Just that there is something that those two are hiding. And then we go back to the fight with Morloon fighting the spider people who've been taken over, SpiderGwen and Spider-Man Noir and some others, right? And Spinstress joins the fight, however, on the bad guy side, and Morloon finally, is kind of getting the upper hand against Spider-Man Noir, and he checks the hilt and sees that the blade is gone, and he's mad. He goes, "The accursed blade, where is it gone?" And then we go back to Earth 616, Delvidia, where they were saving the MacGuffin, right? And they're fighting just an insane amount. I have to show you guys this. An insane amount of spider people that have been taken over by Shathra and her wasp evilness. and so then during the battle, unfortunately, the MacGuffin is broken, right? And Peter says, "Guys, tell me that isn't." And one of the Spider Girls says, "It's gone, and it was the only one of its kind. Our one way of bringing Jessica Drew back. This was all a waste for nothing." And Peter says, "Stop that. We'll come up with something else. We always do. Just have a little faith, okay? Remember, you're talking to the Chosen One. As long as I'm around, we can't lose." And at that same time, in comes SpiderGwen and stabs Peter with the dagger. And as we see, Peter disappears. And that is the final page of Spider-Man 3. Obviously, Peter can't be dead. But, yeah, wow. Okay, so he gets stabbed, and he's like, this isn't supposed to happen. But I don't feel anything. It's like everything I ever was, all those people I saved, will they be okay? I'm sorry. And it says to be continued. Or maybe not, who knows? But then after that it says, next in Spider-Man 4, just gives us a cover. With the heroes that are left. And Miles. Miles is there with and then a shadow of... What? Is it Peter? I don't know. Definitely a lot of cliffhangers with Spider-Man number 3. Okay. So I had fun with this one. It does feel a bit rushed, or like there's so many characters and they're going back and forth. I'm not sure. Maybe me. Maybe I would have liked to see this a little more fleshed out. Because I guess like the pitch that Dan Slott kind of gave everybody on what this was about was, and it's even titled, End of the Spider-Verse Part 3, is he was saying he was gonna kind of wrap up the Spider Verse. Super curious what that means. I mean, I don't see why you would want to end the Spider Verse. There are a lot of cool characters that have come from that. We've got Miles, Silk, um, just a bunch of cool characters. I would say that the highlight so far from this and from Edge of the Spider Verse, the mini series, if you guys are curious, is there any character that's particularly standing out? At least for me, and is shown even on the front cover. Laughably, I gotta show you guys. He shows up a couple times in the book, but he's always a bad guy and you know being controlled by Shathra. But we do have Miguel. There's Miguel, right above my finger. But it's this character right here, Night Spider. She's kind of a standout character, I think. Sort of reminds me of Catwoman in that way where she has ties to having at times been romantically involved with Peter. Uh, she's a thief who is extremely agile and is gifted with Spider-Man powers. I don't know. It's just kind of fun. She's a fun character and has a really cool design. Um, the Spinstress character is also kind of neat. It's a little Disneyfied, but it's for the market and people that enjoy it. That's what it's for. And so for that, I think it's kind of cool too. The Spinstress characters also, if there is another standout behind Night Spider, it's probably Spinstress for me. So as you can tell, I do know some of these new characters. I'm kind of having fun with this. Um, I give Spider-Man 3 a thumbs up. There was a bunch of action in this one for sure. I guess my draw. Okay, so here's my drawback to this one. Um, how many times has something seemingly very bad happened to Peter? And that felt a little bit, at least for me, it felt a little on the nose. Like I felt like there was enough other things going on that now I'm a little trepidatious. I'm curious to see is is the reason that they're doing that so they can showcase one of these other spider people, possibly. Um, and I'm not opposed to that, but if that is the plan, then I feel like you have to pull that off, right. And that's a bit more harder than just keeping Peter in the story and having Peter be this silly chosen one thing. It was a little goofy, a little Star Warsy, but it's a story, and so I was going. I'm still going with it, as you can tell. I'm going with it. Um, I'm a little concerned where it's going now, but this issue still gets a thumbs up because I feel like we can still go a lot of good ways, and we'll see how that kind of plays out, I guess. So that's what I have today. All right, guys. Remember, if you like this kind of content, like, comment, subscribe. It'll give you a chance to win the book when we hit 600 subscribers, the Marvel #1 variant. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.